Joining us right now is former chairman and CEO for UBS Paine Webber, and now the chairman and CEO of Route 9B Holdings, Joe Grano, is with us. Joe, we're happy you're here. Good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us. You also served as a former chairman of the Homeland Security Advisory Council,
Correct.
Which is really what we want to tap into on this conversation. What's your take on this in terms of the new Border Patrol agents being talked about and how we are securing the borders?
Well, first of all, it's all about law enforcement. And unfortunately, retroactive law enforcement is pretty difficult to execute. So I think we need to draw a line in the sand today, obviously prospectively enforce the law with much tougher controls on the border at all. And from a retroactive perspective, you have to be pragmatic and just focus on those who are felons and not serving our nation properly. The rest, come up with some type of amnesty program, in my opinion, would bode us well.
You have to be impressed with what we've seen already, with all of the talk about, look, don't come to the border if you've committed a crime. The borders are closed. Yes. People trying to even come in is down big, the numbers.
Well, Secretary Kelly talked about a report, 16,600 turned away in the month of March. That's a 64% improvement over a year ago. And I think that perception of what could happen to you at the border is causing that fear component. So whatever it takes, I think it's good, and I think we do need to enforce the laws. Now, Homeland Security has three objectives, obviously. Immigration is right now a very hot topic. Cybersecurity is number two, and number three, terrorism. Those are the three mandates that I say keep them awful busy and awake at night.
Joe, Joe, you said cybersecurity. Is that the next biggest threat that we're facing in the world? Because war is fought very differently nowadays. We don't have boots on the ground in terms of we're using drones and nukes, massive casualties. So hopefully we don't result to escalate geopolitical tensions as quickly as we might have before. So is cybersecurity the next biggest threat?
I think it is the biggest threat facing America today. Many of our major corporations and our government, with WikiLeaks et al., find themselves very vulnerable. Automated firewalls, which we've been relying on, serve a purpose, but they're not enough.
They're not working.
You need to engage mano a mano with an operator who understands the attacker, and my company exactly does that. We have, we believe, 25 of the best 35 journeymen ever developed in the nation, and that's what you need going forward. I think it's the #1 threat.
But it also goes back to HB1 visas, right? We do need talent to come in and help develop the cyber techniques that we can deploy against our adversaries as well as protect ourselves. So how do you view the HB1 visa situation in immigration?
Well, I don't think it is dependent on that. I do think that is a resource that we should not overlook. But frankly, we have enough talent in this country if we train it. My CTO or CISO at UBS was never trained in cyber. Cyber Command wants to train 9,000 additional operators. Most of the best have come out of NSA in terms of homegrown cyber specialists, and they're very good.
Brian.
How much should consumers be concerned about these issues when it comes to some of the big companies that we're doing business with every day? It seems like in the headlines we're always hearing, Yahoo, Amazon, somebody's being hacked. Information's being lost. Is the situation actually worse than the headlines, or is it better and we're just seeing kind of the worst case scenario stories here?
I would say what you see is what you're getting right now. It's probably a good medium. It is a very vulnerable point. But as we move and transition to more mobile payment systems with the phone, that's going to make us even more vulnerable. That's my big concern. Disintermediating your money from the bank because of your mobile device and how you access it. So I think part of our cybersecurity protection has to be focused on identity theft and the vulnerability of mobile payment systems.